Hello, hello, hello. This is attorney Mike Gravlin coming to you from Chicago. As usual, I've got another fun clip today. I've got a cool new judge I haven't seen. I don't know how I even got onto this page. I don't even know how I found it, but it was an interesting call. I pared it down a little bit. I let it run while I was doing stuff this morning, and there's actually a lot of interesting stuff in there, but I pared it down. I think I'm going to call this one the Zen Judge. Let me know what you think in the comments below or in the chat as it gets going. It's just interesting because I've been doing sort of a audit of Michigan judges by accident. I didn't mean to, but and by the way, Michigan's doing well. I really have liked pretty much all the judges that I've done videos on, but this one has a whole different style, and we're into herding cats, but her whole thing is just so calm in my opinion, and it's kind of interesting. Let's her name is Irene. I might not be pronouncing that right. It's Erane Washington, and it's just kind of interesting to see her call. Let's get going.
Okay.
That's not fun.
Fine, we'll be back.
Okay, so the 19th.
All right. So it's
Not right there. The guy David Owens in the bottom kicks it off with taking a big drag from his cigarette. She's addressing the woman in the bottom left here. I'll give you the background on that. That woman missed a date, and she used the excuse that she had to put her cat down, and she was sad about it. The judge actually gave her a break, basically gave her a $60 fine, but that's where we are.
going to be January the 19th, 2022, and that will be at 9 a.m. Free referral fee of $60. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sorry.
It's fine.
And so I just want to be extra clear this time. So my responsibility is to do a pre-sentence interview. Is that correct?
It's an assessment. They, depending on, and I don't have the actual complaint in front of me, whether this was a controlled substance or whether it was alcohol. It will be a controlled substance evaluation or an alcohol evaluation. Okay, ma'am?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I guess I'll talk to my lawyer and probation directly then to see. I've done an assessment with them already, and yeah, I'll make extra sure. So I should be able to do that by contacting the probation office.
That is correct.
Thank you.
And they'll
That
help
helps a
you.
lot.
They'll help to determine whether or not there is the report that you have is adequate for what our needs are here, and they can help you determine that piece of it. Okay.
Understood. Thank you. I appreciate the clarity.
You're welcome. So then we'll see you back here on January 19th, 2022 at 9 a.m. Your bond is continued, ma'am, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Ypsilanti Township versus Heather Smith, 21T00444.
Paul Barnett on behalf of the township.
And William Mays on behalf of Ms. Smith, who is present. Oh, there she is. Unmute yourself.
Oh, I missed it. This guy David Owens, who kicked off with smoking, he takes a big drink and he does it throughout the call, and I doubt it is, but it looks like an alcohol bottle. And honestly, I'd left this and I was waiting for him to get called, and he never got called this morning. Then I had to do other things, but I doubt it is. But it's just he's just very lax. He also gets his hair combed out later, which is not part of this.
Heather. Little microphone button.
Good morning, Mr. Mays.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
How are you? How are you today?
There he is, petting a dog.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, Judge, Mr. Barnett and I, he got me videos yesterday. I was able to watch them, and the videos are really good. Mr. Barnett has informed me, though, that there's an issue with the blood, that it's a high result, and he wants to discuss it a little bit further. I do have some time constraints on this. I need to get this case done, because I've got another case where I'm representing Ms. Smith, where I've got an offer that's contingent on us working something out here. So I'd ask that you set this just a couple weeks out, sooner rather than later, if you could.
That's fine. I don't have an objection to that, and we can continue to discuss possible resolution.
So I can't do a couple of weeks out because today's the 15th and I'm not here on the 29th.
Okay.
Either do the 22nd, which is next week, or I can do the 5th. So it's the 22nd or the 5th. Those are the options.
22. Either one works for me.
Your Honor, if we could do the 5th, I think that would be better for me.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
January 5th, 2022 at 9 a.m.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Yvonne. This
Have a great holiday, Your Honor.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Thank you.
You too. Good morning. There is a phone number that was just allowed into the virtual courtroom and ends in 0316. 0316 are the last 4 digits of the phone number. If you could please tell us your first and last name, I would appreciate that.
Hello,
Hi. Can you?
Dennis White.
Dennis White. Thank you, Mr. Dennis White.
She is so
We
patient.
will rename you and put you in the list of cases to be called. Sir, please. It's
Okay, right there. I need a ruling. Where is he? Look bottom right.
White. Thank you, Mr. Dennis White. We will rename you and put you in the list of cases.
Is he drinking right there? I mean, I highly doubt it. But I would choose a different container. I would not want to confuse a judge on that issue.
To be called. Sir, please hit star and 6, and then that will mute your device until your case is ready to be called.
Are you serious, Philip?
Yes, *6.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
If so, that's a bad play.
Good morning, sir. Laying in bed. Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I love how she does. That's the closest she gets to being cranky through this mind-numbing call, right there. And she says that, and he gets it. But you'll see right here, she just goes super sweet from there on, and she wasn't even mean there. She just kind of points it out.
I'm good. And yourself?
Well, could you please tell us your first and last name, sir, so we can put you in a list of cases to be called?
Kwame Gardner.
All right, Mr. Gardner. We will put you in a list of cases to be called. Let's see. 1 second here.
Okay.
Hi, this is Ali with the Sovereign Citizen Patrol, and thanks to all your generous support, I'm getting belly scratches. So please remember to hit like and subscribe so I get some more.
There is a device labeled Leslie's iPad. Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm well. Could you please tell us your first and last name?
Leslie Varia.
All right. Thank you. Miss Varia, your attorney's not going to be here this morning. Is Mr. Barnett here?
I am, Your Honor.
Mr. Barnett, I received in my office a stipulation in order to adjourn the formal hearing that was scheduled today. Apparently, the plaintiff's attorney's power has been out for days due to high winds, and her internet is still out, and she cannot perform a Zoom hearing. I don't know if she had an opportunity to talk to you about that because this stip was not signed. When our staff talked to her, or him, she indicated that she basically couldn't get this over because she didn't have internet. So I don't know what we
Yeah, I didn't get it, but that's fine. I don't have a problem with adjourning. The deputy is in training. I was going to pull him out of training to do a hearing. So
Okay. All
I
right.
have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this just a $175 ticket that I just have to pay?
Well, there are other consequences, so I can't give you legal advice. I would suggest that you wait and talk more to your attorney, but I can ask Mr. Barnett what the fine is.
And Your Honor, I'm not certain what the fine is.
All right, I just heard from staff that it is $175, but I'm pretty sure that it is. Okay. 1 second. I think this is a misdemeanor.
Oh, no.
I think it's a civil infraction.
Oh, yes, it is a civil infraction. It's not a misdemeanor. It's not a crime. It's a civil infraction. So,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I just have a question.
yes.
From my understanding, I did consult with another attorney. Is this just I pay the $175, and this doesn't have anything necessarily to do with my charges because the blood test hasn't came forward yet.
The judge handles this so well, but I mean, it's a good question. It's a good question to ask your attorney. She is represented. The attorney doesn't happen to be there, but what she's asking is the whole guts of the case. She's got another issue. Is this going to adversely affect that? Yeah, these are really good questions, but your attorney's not here, and the judge doesn't represent you. She can't do it, and she says so very sweetly.
So I'm not able to answer that question because it sounds like legal advice. So I think that's something you would have to talk to your attorney about. I'm going to formally call the case. Ypsilanti Township versus Leslie Varela.
Thank you, Secret Squirrel.
How do you pronounce it?
Varia.
Varia, 21W003161. So, ma'am, as I indicated on the record before, you have apparently retained counsel on this, Ms. Rothis. And Ms. Rothis can't be here today. She submitted a stipend order, which means that because you have an attorney, Mr. Barnett's not able to give you legal advice either. So no one here can give you legal advice. We can only answer the questions you just asked. Once you start asking about how that affects other matters, then it becomes much more complicated. So it is my intent to sign this order here because Mr. Barnett has indicated on the record that he has no problem with adjourning it. So I would sign this order and adjourn this case. And I would be looking at the January 5th date, if that works for you.
Thank you.
Let me look at my work schedule.
The other thing that I can tell you, ma'am, since you've hired counsel, if that attorney wants to appear, sometimes they are able to appear and enter responsibility on behalf of their client without you having to be present, but that would be up to you and your counsel.
Okay. I am scheduled to work on January 5th.
Okay. If you're saying you want to be present for this, the next available date is January 12th.
Okay.
So you want the 12th?
Yes, I'm sorry.
There's another thing. She's saying, look, if you're going to plead to this thing, you don't need to be here, and your attorney can take care of it. That is, for all the world, is what's probably going to happen because she needs that cleared out to deal with her larger issue. But again, the judge is like, I'm not here to advise you. I'm just here to tell you what's going on. She's so sweet about it.
All right, I'll adjourn this to January 12th, 2022 at 9 a.m. And as I indicated earlier, if you want to send your counsel and you not show, that's completely fine. That's up to you, ma'am. Okay?
Okay.
Depends on whether you want a hearing or not. All right, so you're all set. I'll see you back here then.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. You're welcome. I liked your music.
Yeah, that was. You could play that background music yourself, Judge.
I guess I could do that, couldn't I? Ypsilanti Township versus Tyler Kellerman, case number 21T00448.
Paul Barnett on behalf of the township.
Andrew Banis with and on behalf of Mr. Coleman.
Good morning, Mr. Kellerman. You're muted, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. I had myself muted. I was in the semi truck. Kind of loud.
I was trying to figure out what you were in because I'm like, what is that background? I could not figure it out.
Trucking company, and I own the truck that I drive, and I haul cattle, like livestock.
And it's decked out in blue in the back? Is that blue and gray?
Yeah, well, the blue lights all over, and interior, like it's between the frame and has a long hood, and I have blue lights in there and the breathers and all underneath, and in the frame, like between the back of the sleeper here. It's stretched. It's a lot longer. So I have a bed and a TV, microwave, fridge. I spend months on the road and come home for a few days.
Thank you for showing me that. I've never had the opportunity to see anything like that before. I appreciate it.
That is just another one. First of all, she asked him about it, and then he gives her a tour of his truck. And she is so cool about it. It's unbelievable. I think she meditates, or she's just got natural Xanax coursing through her veins or something, but she is a cool judge. It's a neat contrast to a lot of the other judges. For instance, Lenice Bryant, who repeats and then gets cranky with them. I think both approaches are fine. They just got to be themselves and do what they need to do to get through the call. She chooses this route. There are ups and downs to both approaches, but they both work and they're fine.
All right. All right. We're here for a pretrial on this matter.
Yes, Your Honor. This pretrial has been adjourned a couple times for video and 911 calls, and I know Mr. Kellerman doesn't want to keep coming back to court because of his transport job, but I still have not received that discovery. So I don't know if Mr. Barnett has sent it, what the logistical issues on his end and possibly my end, but I think at this point, Mr. Kellerman probably wants to set the case for a bench trial based on my previous discussion, and then, we will want that discovery.
Your Honor, I don't object to a bench trial. That's fine. I did send both the video and the 911 call. I believe I sent it twice. So I don't know what the issue is.
Yeah, we've had some discovery issues in various cases.
So let's dig a little deeper here. How are we sending it? And
it's access through evidence.com. I sent it both to Mr. Banis's direct email, which should give him access through evidence.com. I also sent it to the PD misdemeanor discovery email address, both the 911 call as well as the videos. No one else is having any issues getting these. Mr. Mays just a moment ago said he got his, so I'm not sure what the problem is.
If I may make a suggestion, I do have a lot on my plate when it comes to running my own business, and the moral of the story is I paid some money to a collision shop and they closed their doors and I was out of my money. So I went to the defendant's house, the person's house.
Well, hold on, Mr. Kellerman. Are you saying I know we had this discussion. Are you saying you want to plead guilty to the trespass charge?
I was hoping if there's any way that I could simply pay it, because the whole thing is I don't want to pay more into this guy that owes me money that I can't collect because he's just uncollectible. He doesn't have anything in his name. So I'm kind of out of options, but I don't really want to pay more into it, but I don't mind just getting it over with, because at this point it's just, I have a lot more better things to do with my time. You know what I mean? And to keep showing up to court and parking like this, it's taking more money out of my pocket, because the more loads I make, I get paid per mile. So to sit like this it's taking money out of my pocket as is.
One of our legal clerks, Your Honor, is telling me, she says there's no evidence.com link. So there's some issue, I guess, we're having with evidence.com.
All right, there's two things here. First of all, this may not be as fascinating to you as it is to me, but I mean, judges hate this exchange of discovery thing. As it turns out, later in the even part that I cut off, they work it out. There is some technical thing between it, but in Cook County, 9 out of 10 judges will just say something like, "You two work it out, or someone's getting sanctioned. Get out." I mean, that's what you're going to get. The other thing that's cute is this defendant is like too honest, but he wants to plead to this thing. He wants to plead to this thing and be done, but the prosecutor needs to make an offer and just give him a deal, and this thing could be done. It's frustrating. They work through the discovery issues here, though, and again, she has the patience of a saint.
Wait, so that That's still confusing for me. Before I address your comment, Mr. Banis, I want to address Mr. Kellerman briefly. Mr. Kellerman, it will be one more hearing that you'd be scheduled for at this point in time. Okay, if that is the route that you want to go, and be at 2 p.m. on a
Already
Tuesday,
in the house.
just so that you know. In the meantime, we're going to work out how to make sure we get this evidence to your attorney, if that is your choice, but it's between you and Mr. Banis.
Now, would that be by Zoom too as well?
Yes, it will be, sir. Now, the other issue is, Mr. Banis, you said there's no link. Are you indicating to me that you've actually received the email from Mr. Barnett, but within that email, you're not finding a link?
Yes, Your Honor. What I did was I forwarded it to our legal clerks, because we have a process in place where all videos are downloaded from evidence.com to a network drive so that our entire office can access them. I have never used evidence.com myself, so I've never logged in, but what I recall is that the state used to send us an actual link that would take us right to the videos, because it's not like we have an account where we log in and see all our files or anything like that.
First of all, I don't know of any other judge that I've ever been in front of who would have the patience to listen to that. Second of all, the prosecutor, top right, Paul Barnett, just wants to smack him.
I understand, yes.
Yeah. So for some reason that wasn't working on our end.
Well, okay. So you actually do get, from what I recall, a year ago, you actually do get a link that comes in that. So there should be a link there. Are you saying the link doesn't work when they try to access it? Because that's separate than saying there's no link. So I'm trying to figure out what the problem is so we can alleviate it and get this case done with.
In the email, I don't see any link to the actual video. I see a link that says click here to register.
You have to register first.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we must have done that because our office has been using it so long. Yeah, I just don't see any. I just see it's an email with no link to the video. So Mr. Barnett did send that, and I forwarded it off to our legal clerks.
Here's what I'm thinking. There may be some other email address that the public defender uses other than Mr. Banis's email and the PD misdemeanor discovery email that these videos are sent to that may have registered. I'm guessing if Mr. Banis wanted to register using the link that I sent him, he could access the videos, but it sounds like they have a central location. So maybe that's the issue, that there's another email address that it needs to be sent to.
Well, no, it sounds like Mr. Barnett sent it to the PD misdemeanor reports email. That's the one we use for all discovery for misdemeanor cases. In fact, that's the same email that the court uses for probation reports.
Okay. I don't think we've gotten anywhere with how to fix this. That's where I'm trying to get to. What do we need to do, since it sounds like he's sending it, but there's a problem on your end? Is there?
I mean,
I'm happy to get together with Mr.
correctly, then it's on our end. I'm frustrated because I don't know what happened.
I'm happy to get together with Mr. Banis. I can view the videos and he can watch them on my computer whenever he wants. At least for this case. I think ultimately we need to resolve the issue for other cases too.
Yes, we
That's
do.
a desperation play.
I wonder if you could walk through your email on your phone and screen record and send to Mr. Andrew Banis. Because
there's a lot of material. Yeah.
That's so cute. The defendant's trying to help. No, you can't record it and send it. The file's too big.
Understandable.
And for this case, maybe I could use Mr. Kellerman as the link. He could register and he could view the video. I mean, that's
Do you want to do it that way, Mr. Banis? We CC both of you?
I don't know. We have a process in place we've used for years, and it does work in other cases. I'm hesitant to create my own account. I mean, I'll do whatever. I'll do anything on this case. I don't want to change our process that we've had in place, but if that would help for this particular case, yes, I'll try creating my own account, I guess.
Oh.
We'll set this matter so Mr. Kellerman, first of all, you have an absolute right, a constitutional right to have a trial by jury, at which time 6 people would decide whether or not you're guilty of the offense that you're alleged to have committed. If you so choose, sir, you can waive that right and have a trial by judge. I'm the judge of this court, so I will be making the decision as to that. Is that what you're choosing to do today?
Can I ask one question about that?
Obviously, yes, sir.
When it comes to a bench trial where there's multiple people in there and they determine, would I be able to tell my side of the story exactly what had happened?
That shows you right there how much people need representation. He just doesn't get the concept that if you're waiving a jury, that it's still a regular trial. It's just that the finder of fact and law is the judge. And he's a real smart guy. He runs his own company. He's doing all this stuff, but he just does not do it. He asks a good question. The judge responds appropriately, but wow, if he can't do it, most of these people cannot represent themselves.
It would be between you and your attorney. The other right that you have is the absolute right to remain silent. And if you chose to waive that, then you and your attorney could decide that you should take the stand, sir.
Okay, that's fine. We can do that. And you said that's by Zoom, correct?
It is. That is between you and your attorney as well. If you wanted to have it in person, then you can make that as a request.
Zoom would be perfect.
Okay. We could add another one to our January 4th date, or we then go to February 1st. Those are our options at this point.
Mr. Kellerman, did you hear those 2 dates? Given your job, I'd like you to choose which one is better for you.
You said January 1st?
January 4th or February 1st. They're always Tuesday at 2 p.m.
Could we do February 1st?
Yes. Non-jury trial in this matter will be February 1st, 2021 at 2 p.m. 22 at 2 p.m. And bond will continue. Mr. Banas, if you could try to do whatever you can to get with Mr. Barnett as quickly as possible to make sure that we don't have any concerns with respect to discovery, that would be great, please.
I will, Your Honor. Your Honor, could we have a bench conference? Because I have several cases with discovery issues today.
All right, yes, we may. Thank you. All right, Mr. Kellerman, you're all set. We'll see you back here on February 1st. Your bond is continuous here.
Sounds good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Enjoy.
Welcome.
Here at Law Talk, we like to have... Well, it was interesting. I did see a little bit more of the call. They had that conference and they worked out the discovery issues, but I just couldn't believe that was excruciating watching a judge put up with that. But that's her style, and she would just ignore. There were people smoking, there were people sleeping. There's a guy who might be drinking. I'm not sure. She just wasn't going to address it unless they were on the screen in front of her, and that's her approach. She did, in fact, resolve the discovery issues between that guy, which they had on several cases. So she's very effective in her way. On the other hand, a cranky judge might have forced a plea in that circumstance and said, no, I don't want to hear any of this nonsense. The defendant wanted to plead guilty and be done in the worst way. If he was given a decent offer, he would have done it. But all these judges have their own approach, and that's the way it is. So I just thought it was kind of interesting, and I like to see the different perspectives of the different judges. Fun with silly stuff that happens in Thanks court for coming out. I appreciate it. Once in a while, and completely by accident, I assure you, you might learn something. Thanks for watching.